week number 2 of the Coast to Coast Racing League for the fall season of 2023 brings us to the Big E, Eldora Speedway. High fast action here tonight on the high banks of Rossburg, Ohio, as it's time for another edition of Monday Night Madness presented by Ohsweken Speedway. As always, we begin Monday nights with our Rebels B Division, brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Good crowd out here on hand for round number 2 of the Coast to Coast Racing League season, and we're glad you've tuned in for it. So glad you could join us here on Monday Night Madness, everybody. Marty Sakala joined alongside Brandon Dittmer, should be joined by Dean Reynolds in just a little bit. So Brandon, let's get into talking about the Rebel season so far. Great start to the season at Lernerville. I didn't make it out last week, unfortunately, because I had some other plans going on. But week number 1, how'd it go?
I'm gonna be honest, Marty. I didn't watch Rebels at Lernerville.
Well, I can tell you that Brandon Templeton won, and on a good start to the season, and he's looking to go 2 for 2. He's currently quickest in practice.
Yeah, Templeton has been figuring out something lately, and it's really working for him. Luckily, he's if he continues this, obviously he's going to be a real contender for the championship, and I am here for it.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff Kepper and Cody Graham both battled for the championship last season in the Rebels division. Both of them are now in, I believe, in Renegades competition. And so we'll see them later on in the show. But we move on to this, and we look forward to a good one here tonight. A nice car count here at Eldora. 23 drivers at least will be taking the green tonight.
That's great. That's a great freaking turnout here.
For Rebels, absolutely.
Wish we had some of those numbers last season.
Well, while we're at it, let's do some practice here for right now, as I believe they are doing the drivers' meeting as we speak. Brandon Templeton, currently quickest in car number 31, a 1388. He is better by 0.12 than Jacob Musso in the 61. Connor Ross third, Michael Berthay fourth, Stephen Goldner rounds out the top 5. You know, speaking of the Vanderbilt team, Brandon, I think it was in the lounge that we had a fun conversation how it's going to be so weird to see a bunch of Vanderbilt drivers in Rebels this year.
Yeah, I think most of them either took the season off on Renegades and got demoted, or just plain had a bad season in Renegades, and I know how that feels. But it's, if they can get something going, hopefully they figured something out over this past kind of season and put it towards the work, and hopefully you get a nice little battle there at the end, and maybe they can all get back up to Renegades. But it's a dogfight out there.
Absolutely. Well, if you are new to the Coast to Coast Racing League, here is how a regular night of Monday Night Madness works as you take a look at Joe Canellis. First off, the pill draw is determined by random, which sets the starting lineup for heat races. If we have a car count that is over 24, the top 4 will transfer out of the 8-lap heat to the feature. And again, if we're over 24, the rest of the drivers will move to a B main that is 10 laps. It will follow by our warm-up that will last for 3 minutes while we are under break. Then we come back, the features tonight for the Rebels, 30 laps, and for the Renegades, 35 laps. Was also great as well to see earlier on tonight here is trying to find some other drivers taking the track. Here's Dean Reynolds in the 79. Was great to see as well for changes to Monday Night Madness. The return of the C Division Rebels. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to have those guys back. I had them in that one, and great to see. We had a decent number. I think we had 11 or some odd cars, and they put on a great show. Only one caution on lap 23, and set up for a great green-white checkered. So a lot of high side in that one, and I expect to see more of the same here. But we're this track changes from race to race, and especially a little bit of different date time. So maybe it'll change it up a little bit.
Aiden Young took the win in the Raiders division. Correction, not the Rebels. But we are set to go for our first heat race of the evening. And heat race number 1 is always brought to you by our friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. Quality racing designs produced by Tim Chapman in Clarence, Iowa. Sun is setting here at Eldora. Here's your starting lineup. Greg Parmalee starts on pole position. He's next to the 217 of Gentleman Jack Het. Row number 2, Gary Offut in the GoPro 94. Next to him, it's Joe Dirt, Joe Canellis. Row number 3, Stephen Goldner in car number 30. He's next to the mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Rounding out the field, Devo, Donovan Ross in car number 02. He used to drive the 5, but has occupied the driver that's next to him on the grid. That's the Laker, John Krupa. A lot of changes as well to the Monday night schedule. I think one of the more notable ones I'm looking forward to in a few weeks, Wheat Sport. That'll happen during week 4. Winner starts on the pole for tonight's feature. Heat 1 is green. All 3 by 4 by 1 for the lead, and Jack Het goes to the point. Goldner in second as he looks down to the basement for the top spot. He clears Jack Het, and Goldner leads lap number 1 from 5th to the first spot. And it's still 3 wide for third, 4 wide for Romanov for 2, Brandon. And it's 4 wide again.
I am loving this. I am up at a very tall angle, and I am loving every second of this. But Goldner, oh my God, what a run!
1488 for the driver in car number 30. Who saw that coming? Here's Canellis, meanwhile, on the outside of Jack Het. Gentleman Jack's race in the Renegades last season. How about this run from Canellis? We didn't see him a lot last year, so it's great to see Tin Can up in P2.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to have Joe kind of back here consistently, and he's a really good racer when he gets his mind right to it, and he's proven it tonight.
Bixler third, Het fourth. Let's look at Donovan Ross as he tries to close in on Jack Het for the 4th spot. Take a ride on board here with Devos. The field makes their way into turn 1. Ooh, but Ross just about tapped the wall. That cushion really thick early on here, Brandon. So thick that you can actually sit on it here in real life.
Man, I love when the cushion builds up, and it really makes it for a fun time up there. But it's like you said, once you get a little bit over it, and it sucks you right into that wall, and you go from having a good time to a very bad time very quickly.
White flag out for Stephen Goldner. No one's been able to chase him down. He is running laps at least 2/10 quicker than everybody else as he makes his way off turn 4. Goldner starts from the pole. He wins the opening heat. Second, Canellis. Third, Bixler. Fourth, Ross. A photo for 5th, Het, Krupa, Offut, and Parmalee.
Goldner's Bandyboat, right?
Yes, he is from the Bandyboat team.
Maybe they figured something out.
Yes, we will see what happens.
That was impressive going through that middle there on that start.
Moving on to heat race number 2. Heat 2 is brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. Langdon Mechanical, based out of the Hamilton area, promising the second to none heating and air conditioning company, promising their customers that they will be there personally every step of the way. Langdon Mechanical, the official heating and air conditioning company of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Superman, Kurt Schatzer is on pole position. Next to him is G.J. Boydell in car number 014. Row number 2, Michael Birthday. He's in the 95, and it's the New Hampshire Rocket, Aiden Young, in the 69. Dean Reynolds in the 79. Him and the Ripper, Lance Ripka, make up row number 3. Rounding out the field, Zach Neubauer in the 52, and Daddy's Money, Connor Ross, in the 35. And how about Connor? Congrats to him. Last weekend, raced a crate sprint at Ohsweken Speedway. Roger was watching and was really glad to see him watch in person. Underway for Heat 2. Schatzer able to clear. Let's see if Birthday gets a run down the back. Looking downstairs, however, though, nearly taps the inside jersey barrier. Has to back out of it. Meanwhile, Dino up to 3rd, past G.J. Boydell. Can he slide up just barely in front? He cannot. Boydell has a run off for 2, Brandon.
Yeah, that gap was barely enough for Dean to fit in, and luckily he did not go for it. Otherwise, he would not be in this race right now. Oh, there he almost gets in there.
A lot of yaw for Dean in the center of 1 and 2, and it's costing him just a little bit. Back to 5th he goes. Aiden Young moves into the 4th spot. Underneath he goes for 3rd. Looking to have a possible chance. Yeah, as Boydell takes the 3rd spot back. Looking to have a chance there. By the way, with the Raiders division back this season, Aiden Young could have a chance at pulling off the extremely rare Triple Crown as Boydell rides the wall.
He does have a very good chance, and that Raiders division is such a good little practice run for him, and he dominated there, and he's gonna take that knowledge that he gained and just run with it here.
3 to go in heat race number 2. Michael Birthday, currently the quickest driver on the track. 1480 to Kurt Schatzer's 1494. Does he have anything for the 218 here, Brandon?
Yeah, maybe Michael was really good here last season when we came here.
There we go.
Until his unfortunate accident. I think with Schatzer too. Him and Schatzer got together last season to end both of their races.
Final lap.
They are not going to give each other any slack here.
Birthday, oh, we got loose off for turn number 2. And he was trying to set the slide job up. That sends Schatzer to the Heat 3 win. Young nearly catches Birthday for 2nd. Then it's Boydell, Reynolds, Ross, Ripka, Neubauer. By the way, let us know who you're rooting for here for tonight's Rebels race. 17 viewers watching round 2 tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that is awesome to see for the B division. I want to see that stacked later tonight for the Renegades. We now move to Heat 3, brought to you by Top Notch Trucking. Doing your hauling needs in North Dakota, from hauling hay bales to water, and the service is top notch. Here's the lineup. It is Zach Chapman. Shaggy's on pole position in the 72. He's next to 70 of Mike Cranmer. Row number 2, Jeff Falero in the 200, next to Brian Dickens and car 122. Row number 3, it's B-Temp. Brandon Templeton in the 31, next to Kyle Sargent in the 91. Rounding out the field in the 61, one of the members of the Moose clan, that is Jake Musso. Like to send a big hello as well to our buddy Isaac Salas. I know he's watching tonight. He has a little bit of pedal issues. So Isaac's trying to get those fixed so we can get back going. But I don't know, what would you say? It's a weak throttle he shared with us earlier tonight?
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, from the video that he sent, it doesn't look like it reacts any different than mine right now, so I'm a little confused, but you never know. Jeff
Falero with a good jump. He tries to slide job Zach Chapman. Falero leads lap 1. Let's see if Chapman throws the slider for the race lead on the Oshweekon 200. He leaves Falero the lane, and Falero clears. Now he throws the defensive line into turn number 3. He's got the run by Chapman and Templeton get together. The 72 saves it, but he has no front wing, Brandon.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt him a lot, especially here with all that speed happening, and he's just going to have to fall back and back and back. His only hope is for other people to wreck.
Meanwhile, look at this mess for 2nd on back. Mike Cranmer, Kyle Sargent, B-Temp, Jake Musso, and Brian Dickens throw them all under a blanket for the 2 spot as Templeton taps the wall.
And Cranmer is really making that middle work, and he's keeping up with Sargent. He's actually beat Sargent there off the corner, which is impressive. He's not going to go and clear him, unfortunately.
Oh, Musso! Wow! How did he keep it off the wall? I don't know. That was a save and a half.
No kidding.
Coming to 2 to go here in this heat race, and it is Jeff Falero with the advantage by 2.3 seconds. Let's go to the race for P2. Dickens and Sargent. Sargent start from 6. Nice run for him as he's up to the 2 spot.
Anytime you can go up 4 positions in your heat, it's a great day.
On board the 91 of Sargent. Dickens wants to roll the bottom, can't get it to work. 1 to go in this heat. Sargent up the wall, Musso, contact with Mike Cranmer as he tries to hang on to it without a front way. Cranmer puts Musso on the wall once again as Flero comes to the line. He's out of fuel and wins Heat 3. Oh, and Musso dumps Cranmer. My goodness. That may have been a little bit of payback there off turn 4.
That's going to be interesting to see next week.
That may...
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Warm-ups are complete. Stephen Gollner, the quickest at a 15:07. Well, we are set to go racing here at Eldora for the Rebels. Let's meet the field in your catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the pole position, it's Stephen Gollner in car number 30. Next to him, it's Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row number 2, Jeff Flero in the 200. Next to Tin Can, Joe Canellis in the 1. Row 3, Michael Berthay in the 95, and he's next to Kyle Sargent in the 91. Row 4, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. He's next to the New Hampshire Rocket, Aiden Young in car number 69. And rounding out the top 10, Brian Dickens in the 122, and Devo Donovan Ross in the 02. Row number 6, G.J. Boydell in the 014, and B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Row 7, Gentleman Jack Kidd in the 217, and Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row 8, Jacob Musso in the 61, and John Krupa, the Laker, is in the 5. Row number 9, Connor Ross, Canada Connor, is in the 35, next to Mike Cranmer in the 70. Row number 10, Gary Opfer in the 94, and the Ripper Lance Ripka in the 125. Shaggy Zach Chapman starts 21st, Greg Parmalee 22nd, Zach Neubauer starts from 23rd. One lap to take at the green here. Who's your pick to win tonight?
I think Birthday's going to get it done from P5.
We go with Birthday. Give me, made it wide open for me. Give me Stephen Gollner. Let's know who you're picking in the chat to win this one tonight. Remember, top 5 is will move up to the Renegades. Have a chance to race in the 35-lap feature this evening. Been a long time since Stephen Goldner was in the Rebels, and he's with us tonight. He starts next to the 218 at Superman up past Rebels Champ. First feature of the evening, we're green. Here's the Lucy Olsen start. Go Cats. Jeff Flaro's out with the early lead. Stephen Goldner looks for some drive off at turn 4. He has the second spot. That's Flaro went from third to first. Goldner looks to throw the slide job on the 200. He puts Flaro on his lid. A bad slide job. And it takes Jeff Flaro to the back. Oh my goodness. Not what anyone wanted to do. And yeah, how did anybody else not get involved?
He got really tight at it too, and just took him the rest of the way up the track. That's tough.
Here's a look. Steven with the slide job. Flaro just did not have any time to let off. And he does a somersault. Jacob Musso also loose in the corner. Makes a good save out of that. We think Connor Ross may have been involved. We'll take a look in just a moment. Here's the onboard with the 200. Right there. Dead center tire touch. Check Connor Ross is on board. He was on the low side. Misses Jeff Flaro. Does he hit the 31 at Templeton? Tries to avoid him, and he does suffer probably just cosmetic damage. As the first caution of the day is out. We just watched our Malcolm's Mill Reading replay. And this is a single file restart here. Not too sure why, as we did complete a lap here, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. Let me check how the session was set up real quick.
All right, well, while we were at that, Stephen Goldner leads, Kurt Schatzer second, Michael Birthday third, Joe Canellas fourth, Kyle Sargent fifth, as we get set to go for the Mission 22 restart back to green here at Eldora.
Set up as double file restarts. I'm a little confused.
Schatzer can't get any bite off at turn number 2, so Goldner won't serve. Here comes Kyle Sargent for that fourth spot as Bixler and Canellas go side by side into turn number 1. Add in Devo into the picture. Same with Eddie Young, who and Canellas taps the wall. See if Young can take away the 6th spot. 3 wide in turn 4, Brandon.
Yeah, and that's 2 times Canellas has hit the wall in the backstretch in the same exact spot, back-to-back laps, so it's going to cost him time and time again. He's going to be a little bit more scared coming out of 2, and that's going to cost him a little bit going down the stretch.
Canellas edges out Bixler with the line of the race for the lead. Birthday looked low on Goldner. Oh, no! The big one at the Big E. There's Devo caught up in it.
Looks like Devo got caught up late in that.
Brian Dickens, Stephen Bixler, Joe Canella, saw Dean Reynolds also involved. At least 6 cars involved in this one.
Dean did not get involved. He slammed on the brakes to move. So he was not. He luckily missed that by a.
There you see in the background, Canellas and Bixler simply touch. It was just on from there. It's right on board with the mayor. Joe Canellas. First thing that came to my mind a little bit in this accident, Spider Monkey, the Eldora Million crash. 'Cause I thought we were going to see a big flip in that one.
Oh, are you talking about when Reitzel
Right, so in Larson.
shifted into one? Yeah. That was nasty.
All right, so
It was close, though.
So we are double file. This is our first double file restart on the day. Goldner and Schatzer row 1. Birthday Sergeant Young round out the top 5. We'll watch this restart off of the Chapman Racing drone. So Goldner holds serve. Oh, 3 wide for the lead. Schatzer gets past Birthday. Kyle Sargent checked that. Looks for the 3rd spot. Templeton makes it 4 wide behind them. As Young backs out of that, moves Sargent in the 4th spot. But watch out for B-Temp. Starting in 12th, he is up to the 5th spot, Brandon.
Yeah, and Templeton, once he gets on a roll, he is hard to stop. Oh, spin in the back, Calder. He's
Ryan Dickens, no caution. We stay green. Schatzer's looking for the lead on Goldner, though.
Yeah, and Schatzer's going to be right there. He was really good before he unfortunately took himself out last year. Templeton in the wall as well. Going to drop him a couple spots.
Goes back down to the 6th position. How about Jake Musso? Where'd he come from? And that's 61 from 15th to 5th.
Oh, man. Wait, what?
Yeah, underneath for 4th on Sargent. Doesn't work for him. Meanwhile, Goldner last time by, quickest lap of the day at a 15.13. Now, how does Schatzer make his move for the lead here?
You just got to wait for your Goldner to mess up and go for a slide job. The ultimate slide job, and just hope it sticks. There's really nothing else you can do.
Oh, Musso on the wall. Templeton to 5th. Meanwhile, Dino, after having one of the best saves, and oh my goodness, that's Jaflero. After the
Schatzer.
flip. Oh! Jake's bad flip for the...
huge flip.
I think that's Boydell. Oh, man, I am so sorry, Jeff. We gave the commentators jinx on you. But G.J. Boydell takes the worst hit of everybody.
Flero and Ross get together, and Boydell has nowhere to go.
And Flero had no steering. He just towed it. We just saw an aftermath of it. We'll show you in just a moment. But here's a look. Ross gets the wall, catches Flero on Boydell with absolutely nowhere to go. And Flero's thinking, first off, I can't believe it, but right on board with him here as he gets the car going. No, oh, doesn't have a controller working. The hands were still straight. All right, let's go on board with GJ, who takes the worst hit of everybody. Look at that flip. GJ had nowhere to go one bit. There was nothing he could have done.
Gives me flashbacks to when Eric Almirola hit Danica Patrick, T-boned her at Kansas, and broke his back. It was a nasty, nasty hit, and that gave me freaking flashbacks to that.
Alrighty, we're set for this restart. Let's watch this restart closely. I believe this is our final double file restart of the night here. If not, our second to last. Let's watch Schatzer closely, see if he has anything for Goldner on this restart. Obviously, Goldner gets to fire where he wants, and he does there, and he immediately clears Schatzer. Now let's watch Birthday.
Birthday's going to go to work on the bottom.
And Schatzer crowded Goldner, nearly gave an advantage to 95.
Chapman pulled a wheelie on the back there, going off the back tire of Aiden Young.
Back in the 10th position. Have to check that if we get a yellow flag here in just a moment. Sergeant top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. Moves to the 3rd spot. He's past the 95 of Birthday. Jacob Musso back inside the top 5 after tapping the wall earlier. But B-Temp wants him back as well. On board Templeton. Check that on board Dino. Woo!
Yeah, good seat.
Brandon, I think they slightly touched there. Sargent in the wall.
I blinked out. I didn't see anything that happened.
Gotcha.
One in the wall in the backstretch.
I think that may have been Gary off, but he's losing a lot of spots in the 94.
Dickens into the wall on the inside.
Oh, and he has crashed it. No caution. We stay green. Meanwhile, Steven Goldner, despite the company he has from Kurt Schatzer, quickest lap on the day, 15:06 for the driver of the 30. He is just trying to hang in there, and Schatzer scrapes the wall. It's one wall scrape here, Brandon, that could just end your chances of winning.
Absolutely, this wall will suck you in, and with the new damage model, it can break your wheel just like that, and could end any of your hopes and dreams. Schatzer, unfortunately, before that caution came out, he had just slid him into, or Goldner into first, or turn one, and got the lead, but he had to give it right back, unfortunately.
Templeton hangs on for fifth for now over Dean Reynolds. So he has to slide up. Kyle Sargent may want a challenge. He peaks low, tucks it back in line. Dean runs the middle of the track. Here comes Young in that 69. He is in the spot where he still started, the 8th position. Thought about looking low, decides not to do it. How about the Ripper from 20th to 9th? Or how about Zach Chapman from 21st to 10th?
Zach's been playing patient, and it's working for him.
A lot of guys getting some good TV time here this evening. Ripka can't slide up, trying to hang on that middle side. Just can't get it where he wants it. Meanwhile, 7 laps to go. New quickest driver on the track in Schatzer, 14:94. But Brandon, I think he just tapped the wall.
Yeah, and like I said, that wasn't going to suck you in. You're going to lose so much time, and you're going to get spray trained around, unfortunately. But
he lost 3
Templeton
tenths.
almost lost it.
He lost 3 tenths last lap. 6 laps to go. Reynolds looks. Templeton hanging on for dear life. He grabbed a handful, if you look closely, on the left side of the cockpit. 5 to go, and Templeton's in the wall. Reynolds to the fit spot off for 2. He just has to try and secure it.
Yeah, Dean's kind of running that middle line, and I think it's been mostly gone, but there's a little bit of moisture there in that about second lane down.
Oh, Reynolds tried to slide job, and Templeton's in the wall once more. And somehow he still has the momentum.
How does he still overrate from it?
Someone may want to take that right front attack. I don't know. With 3 laps to go, Steven Goldner, 8 tenths of a second lead on Kurt Schatzer as he looks for his first win of the season. Didn't race last week at Lernerville. He's looking for the first one. Templeton has the quickest lap of the race with how many times he's hit the wall. 14:87, by the way. That could be some interesting points snatched up here. Final lap underway here at Eldora for the Vanderbilt Racing. Car number 30 making his way through turns number 3 and 4. Welcome back to Victory Lane. Steven Goldner checkered flags at Eldora. Schatzer's second birthday, 3rd. Musso 4th, and Templeton takes the 5th spot. And a fun race at the end. I don't know, Brandon, what did you think of that? I thought it was a fun one.
That was a great race.
Biggest. Go ahead.
You said Templeton got the fastest lap. Did he do that on lap 28?
I think so. 14:81.
How?
That's what
There's
I'm
no
asking
shot
too.
with this tire model.
I think he Hail Melloned it.
Oh my Lanta.
Here's your results here. Goldner, Schatzer, birthday, the top 3. Lance Ripka and Zach Chapman each up 12 positions. Ripka gets the 5 bonus points by finishing higher, than the 72. Here's a look at 11 through 20. Big heartbreak of the race without question goes to Jeff Flair on that 200. And so let's just see if our top 3 are in. We've got a lot of time as well before our next race, so Brandon, we may be getting the cameras on and having some fun here for these next 20 minutes.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's begin with our third place finisher in Michael Birthday. Michael, good run. You had some times there where you caught up to Steven Goldner. Just walk us through your perspective here throughout the day.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I think I probably burnt my tires up a little bit. I was a little throttle happy. The track was pretty cool though. That thing was, I mean, it was on the wall. Yeah, big time. So that was pretty cool for that. And that's just all I had. And I got into the wall once and just didn't want to push it anymore. So I was like, I'm in third. I'm just gonna take my third and go say hi to Brandon and Marty.
So was that the big key here? Trying not to hit the wall on the high side. Schatzer caught it. Templeton caught it a couple of times, and despite that, he even had the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, I mean, it was those last 10 laps or so. I mean, it was on the wall. There was no cushion there, so you just had to get it, keep your marks, and they had to be perfect.
Well, it was a good run for you tonight. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, just all the boys at Training Wheels Racing. What's up? Thanks for everything, and thanks to you guys. And we'll see you here in a minute, maybe.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Great job. Hopefully we see you in Renegades.
Yeah, man. See y'all.
Good run, Michael.
It's Michael Birthday, our third place finisher. To the second place driver we go, Kurt Schatzer. Kurt, the high side was really tough, but it was the only place you could go to try and go around the fastest part of this racetrack.
Yeah, that's what my spotters were telling me. That was the fast line around the track there. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of track up there. I mean, we were bouncing the right rear off that wall quite a bit there. Goldner ran a perfect race there. I didn't really have too much for him. I think we traded a couple sliders there once or twice, and the yellow came out. But after I think the last yellow, and I smacked the wall, and it allowed him to get a decent enough lead on me that I just couldn't quite reel him back in. But all in all, it was a pretty good race. Had fun tonight on the slick track.
Were those restarts definitely important as well?
Oh yeah, them restarts has a lot to do with it. But I felt like they were probably the best restarts I was having. I mean, usually I spin the tires really bad when it gets slicked off with the restarts, but I felt like I was doing a decent enough job to hang with them and keep them from not getting too far away from me there. Birthday was sneaking his way in there too on each of them restarts. It made it pretty interesting.
Well, it was a good run. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Yeah, I got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank and everything they do to help racing series all around the country and different drivers to get back and forth to racetracks. Got Your Six Racing Network, Hammer Down Racing, Templeton, Dickens, and Halter over there. Roger giving us a place to race with Coast to Coast. Everybody comes out and watches and races, and you coming out and doing an awesome job for us.
Definitely appreciate the time. Good to see you as well back in. I know it's not the Renegades, but good to see you back in the Rebels where you've won a championship in the past. We'll let you go. Nice job tonight.
Thank you, Smarty.
Kurt Schatzer, our second place finisher. And now we go to Victory Lane to talk with your winner, Steven Goldner, in the 30. Steven, welcome back to Victory Lane. I know it's the Rebels, but hey, a win's a win.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've talked to you, Marty.
Absolutely. So what have you been working on lately when it comes to the setups of the Vanderbilt camp to help make this team stronger as a whole and try to get some wins?
Honestly, I've been gone so much. I haven't worked on nothing. I just found a setup in one of our folders, and that's what I ran all night tonight. So I don't know. Hopefully, we can start working on setups here once our racing season slows down up here. But for now, I'll just keep running whatever the guys got for me, and it seems to be working. So we'll keep running with those things for now.
How important was the high side here tonight?
Very. Restarts on the bottom were really good too. Get a really good jump on second place, which was very important because, I feel like I'm really good at the top here on Eldora. I've got a lot of wins here, but under this new build, I'm not where I used to be. Like I still haven't figured out how to enter one yet with this new build because I've only ran like 2 races last season, so it's been it's been a struggle, but hopefully we can get it figured out here in the Renegades.
So I do want to ask you as well about how you were able to get the lead. You threw a slider up there on Jeff Flero. From my perspective, you looked clear on him, and Jeff just touched the tire on you.
Yeah, it's a tough deal. The problem with this build, you lose a lot of momentum on your sliders. Jeff, I probably should have, it was lap 1 or with lap 2, whatever it was. I probably should have just let Jeff go and tried to pass him back. But, being not super experienced with this, I just sent it in there and hope for the best. And I don't know. I thought I was clear. I didn't watch the replay or nothing. I'll have to watch the broadcast later tonight. But I thought I was clear. It felt like he ran into the back of me. So it is what it is, I guess.
What do you expect for Renegades tonight?
Honestly, I have no idea. I didn't know Renegade started so slick. I was kind of scrambling to find a setup early in practice, and not real sure what to expect here for Renegades.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
All the guys at Vanderbilt, Ross Crenette, Velocity Race Designs, Moon and Racing Engines, Perfect Photography, you guys for the broadcast, Roger, and everyone with the league.
Alrighty. Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and best luck in Renegades.
Thanks a lot.
So Stephen Gollner with the win here tonight in the Rebels competition here at Eldora. We're going to step aside and take a commercial break. When we come back, it will be time for the Renegades. Hopefully it's time for the Renegades. If not, Brandon and I will talk with you for the next probably 10 minutes or so. So stay with us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat. Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
For Lucy Olsen, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network here at the Eldora Speedway. Sun is set, lights are on here at the Big E. We are ready to go for Renegades coverage, and that's brought to you by Dylan Westbrook Racing. We'll bring you back in here inside our broadcast booth. Marty Sakala joined alongside Brandon Dittmer. If you have a delay on my end, using my phone today, and somehow the quality actually looks nice on there. So, because it looks crappy on my other screen. So, but Brandon, let's talk a little bit about the dirt racing coming up here throughout the Renegades competition. Let's talk about the schedule. One of the big changes, one of the big additions, a lot of the drivers and the drivers vote on this. One of the big additions that I'm excited for, going to Weed Sports Speedway, and this is the first time since I have broadcasted the Monday Night Madness races that we have gone to Weed Sports. So I'm really excited to see how this one goes.
Yeah, and I really like Weed Sport. I like it more in a midget. Gives me a little bit more freedom there to run, but I do like it in a sprint car too. I'm excited to see what it brings to the league. It's going to be some good racing.
Absolutely. Looking else throughout the schedule, a lot of other cool races here throughout the 12 weeks planned on the schedule. Also making the return to Kokomo, which I'm looking forward to. You know, in the past few events we've had Kokomo, there've been a lot of great finishes, but there've also been some hilarious moments like Kyle Moonen dancing around like a ballerina there.
You might be excited to return to Kokomo, but I sure am not. I dislike the quarter miles very much so.
Well, week 10 though, and I'm assuming you tried this out during week 13, but for the first time ever, Monday Night Madness is going to Kern County. What were your thoughts on it when you first spotted and tried it out?
I actually tried it out for the first time last week in Hometown Heroes. It's not bad. It's got a couple lanes, but I've noticed that at 4 it's really slick no matter what the track state is, so it's a little interesting.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk some real life dirt racing here while we were waiting. And big stuff coming up here in my neck of the woods in New York. We're already on to big money season, but the biggest race I think everyone's talking about. Couple weeks out from now, Super Dirt Week in Oswego. And then just a month and a half from now, the World Finals at Charlotte. I can't believe the racing season is almost over already.
Yeah, no kidding. We got to September and we at work we do live videos to cover what we're doing for the day, and it's just like September. What? No, it's not. It's not September. You got to be kidding me.
I can't believe it is already. I'm already calling games. I got a football game this weekend. Already some big shows that I've been doing at Land of Legends and Lime Rock Speedway, the micro sprint track near me. So, but it's been a good year of racing, and I'm looking forward to ending out the season with a bang in November. So we'll see how things go down there. Um, but football season's back underway. I know you and I have been focused on the Monday night football game between the Steelers and the Browns. In fact, Deshaun Watson on the first play threw a pick six from what I heard.
Yeah, and I missed it too. Come back 9 seconds into the game, there's already a pick six happen. Gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
But
Wild way to begin the season, though. I mean, I'll take a Bills win from Sunday. It sucks being 1-1, but I'll take it. I'll take the start to the season we've had because I knew the Jets game was going to be close.
I think how I feel as a Packers fan, they freaking blew that thing away. Like 12-point lead going into the fourth, and you played the conservative for no reason and lose yourself the game, and that was pathetic.
Apologies to all the Lambeau fans and those that live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, that own the Packers. But we're a couple minutes away from beginning Renegades. It's 8:39 p.m. on the Eastern Time. At the earliest we go for heat racing is 8:45. So let's talk about Renegades while we are at it. Last season, with the new dirt tires and how that went, it was a battle between Blake Chapman and Patrick Spangler. And Chapman, after winning the Knoxville Nationals, looked like he was the perennial favorite to win it all. He won the season finale in Knoxville, but finishing in second was Patrick Spangler, and it was enough for him to remain champion of the Renegades. Last week at Lernerville, Blake won in his hometown. It's one of his many home tracks. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Patrick, but Blake won at Lernerville nevertheless. How important is that to begin the season here for the next 11 weeks?
Oh, it's absolutely huge, and I'm pretty sure he finished with the 0x as well, so that's an even bigger bonus. You might not think that one win in 0x is going to mean a lot, but it does. It really does. Because even coming down to the last race, when I won my Rebels Championship, I had 0x, and it boosted me to the tie with, I think it was Flaro, and it made my IO was low enough that I got the nudge out. So it's about as important as it can be.
For those wondering as well, hello to Gary Spangler, who just tuned in, getting ready to watch Patrick race. He says, I squeaked a baseball win in. For those wondering, by the way, I was actually in Pittsburgh last Friday, attending the Yankees-Pirates game. Gary was there as well, and unfortunately I couldn't meet up with him, as I had some other things to do between innings. But Gary was completely on the other side of the field and where I was sitting, and he says I was wearing the wrong uniform. Gary, I wore the winning uniform, and another typical Bucks choke. We have some fun when it comes to baseball here in New York. It's not been a fun season, but we like to have some fun at times. So
I cannot believe the Yankees are so bad.
it has been a nightmarish season, to say the least. So, but anyway, here's a look at some of the ATVs here at Eldora. 20 drivers make up the car count here for Renegades this evening, and gives us an opportunity to take a look at times as things stand. Patrick Spangler currently the quickest on the track with a 13, I believe that's a 001. Tyler Wilson, the second quickest, at a 13:05. Cody Graham third, 13:08. That's your Rebels champ, keep in mind. Preston Kramer fourth, 13:12. Joe Musso fifth at a 13:14. Just realized as well that this is still the Rebels program file. Let's load up them good old Renegades, shall we? Get everything figured out here. But so, obviously Blake Chapman, Patrick Spangler, your ones to watch here, Brandon. But who else are you watching out for here tonight?
Cody Graham. Obviously winning the Rebels last season and just carrying that momentum into here. He's obviously figured something out and it's working for him. He didn't have the greatest week last week, but he did keep a 0x, and so, like I said, keeping it clean is a big part of the game.
There's the Rebels champ there, Cody Graham, as we're ready to go for heat race number 1. And so heat 1 brought to you by our friends at Flatline Racing Bodies. Here's your starting lineup. And on the pole is the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. He's in car number 161. And starting next to him, the captain, Gary Taylor, in car number 34. Row number 2, it is Randy Shreves in the number 56. And next to him, it's Cody Graham in car number 2. Row number 3, Bob DeGood in the 7 and Michael Berthay in the 95. Rounding out the field, Stephen Goldner in car number 30, looking to go from the back to the front and try and start on pole tonight.
And I got shafted in my pillow draw. Jeez.
I got some bad news for you, Gary. I have decided not to go to Lernerville for the Highlander, but thanks for reminding me to cancel my hotel reservations, as I'll do that when I get done here tonight. Anyway, winner starts on pole. We're green for Renegades. Side by side off the corner, and it's Cody Graham that goes through to the early lead. Randy Shreves in second. Decides not to slide up on the Desert Demon at the stripe. It is Shreves edging out Landis for the second spot. Going up the wall just briefly. Here comes Berthay. He has the door shut by Landis, and Berthay has to go low for the 3 spot.
I think Berthay prefers that bottom side.
That's been his strong suit throughout the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially on those restarts.
Goldner again has been bouncing off the wall, and it's not helping him out one bit. He is in the 6th position after 3 laps, and Bob DeGood is off the pace. Not sure what happened. I think he got really loose off the corner. Landis and Shreves both faster than your race leader in Cody Graham. Now, once again, track's not as slick as it was during the feature, and Randy Shreves is up to that tail tank of Cody. What's he got to do? Does he go for a slider here on Cody, possibly?
That might be your only option here early, but Cody Graham is entering low enough that it's kind of discouraging him from trying it, which is smart. but maybe he just needs to wait for a mistake. That rarely comes from Cody.
Quickest lap, 13.75 last time by. This time by it was 400ths better. Pete Lowe in the center of 1 and 2 decides not to go for it. Race for third. It's Birthday against Landis. Birthday high, wide, and handsome. Has to back off or else he touches the tire of the 161. Final lap underway. Shreves, nice exit off of turn number 2. Him and Graham, wing to wing, through 3 and 4. This could be a photo finish coming to the end. Checkered flag waves. Randy Shreves, what a last lap pass. 9 thousandths of a second.
Wow.
Oh, baby.
Wow.
Let's watch that once again, folks, shall we? Showing it in slow motion here. He even bounced off the wall and still got it.
Really? Wow.
Now the
That's
iRacing margin has it by 11,000, so that's actually really close to what SDK had it marked down as. Heat 2 brought to you by Langdon Mechanical. The Ayla Outlaw, Preston Cranmer on pole position next to the 11 of the Goose, Chad Cote. Row number 2, the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson, the 42. Next to the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry in car number 21. Row number 3, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. And the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper. Rounding out the field, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in car number 83. Brandon, best of luck to you here in this heat race.
Thank you.
So we're underway here for heat race number 1, and it's 3 wide already for that top spot. Cote goes for the race lead into turn number 3. Cranmer in the middle, Wilson all the way down to the basement. But it's Cote that leads the opening lap. Fry thought about threading the needle for just a moment. He may do so off at turn 2. He gets past Cranmer for the 2 spot. So look from our aerial shot here. Fry shuts the door on Preston Cranmer. Slide job. Nope. Flying Fry thought about it. Decides to keep it in the middle side of the racetrack. Now he goes all the way downstairs. This time it's a heck of a slider on Cote, and he takes the lead with 3 laps complete. Cote fights it back underneath. Oh, Wilson, what a wheelie! Barely saves it. The sparks fly between him and Blake Chapman. The Salesman takes the 4th spot. And Cote falls back to 3rd. Cranmer in 2nd. And Kevin Fry now tries to pull away in the CarQuest 21 entry. And he is playing a lot of good defense. Quickest lap last time by at a 13.86. Chapman wants to regain some ground on the 11 of the Goose. Last time by for Kevin, another quick lap. 13.74, white flag flies, 1 to go. Kept the gap constant over the Ayla Outlaw as Fry goes into 3 and 4. He takes the win here in heat race number 2. Cranmer 2nd, Cote 3rd, Chapman 4th, Wilson 5th, then it's Kemper and Dittmer. You saw a heck of a wheelie in front of you there, Brandon.
I actually didn't see the wheelie. To me, he didn't. His front tires didn't leave the ground for me.
Just briefly, it happened. To heat race number 3, brought to you by Top Notch Trucking. Superman's on the pole and Kurt Schatzer in the 218. He's next to the Pink Panther and Jesse Atkinson. Row number 2, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Next to the Moose, Joe Musso in car number 63. Row number 3, Barry Goldner in the 36. Next to B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Rounding out the field is the Detective Steven Spees in car 55. I swear, when I see Joe's paint scheme, I think of 2 things. First one, Justin Peck's paint scheme. Second is Second, it's the Mystery Machine. So we get set to come to green for Heat 3.
Say Joe Canales?
No, Joe Musso.
Oh, Musa. Okay.
As we're green, Atkinson with a beautiful corner rock set. Dances with the double to turn 3. Spangler makes it 3 wide for the top spot. Who leads the opening lap? Way too close to call. I think it was Spangler. Throws a heck of a slide job. Schatzer tries to counter it back. That's the top 3 single file. Atkinson wants the low groove to work here off at turn 4. It cannot. Spangler goes 2 for 1 as he leads with 2 laps complete. Schatzer wants that lead though, Brandon.
Yeah, and Chatzer's gonna keep on looking for it, but Patrick has putting a lot of time into these things, and he has really kind of perfected it down. So he's just gonna drive away here.
Templeton in that 4th spot right behind him, the detective in Speeds. Musso loose in the center of 3 and 4. Templeton decides to make his move underneath. 3rd spot. Atkinson scrapes the wall, both still Hoosier to Hoosier. Templeton slides up, he takes the 3 spot. Now let's see if he can get that 2nd spot here, Brandon, from Schatzer, but it looks like Superman tries to pull away. Templeton in the wall, that's not what he wants to do there. He may lose 2 spots.
And he's gonna quickly lose 2 spots. Atkinson's not really going up to that high side, so Templeton might be able to go around him.
Trying to do what Dean did in the Rebels event.
There he
Templeton,
goes.
wow, nice slider from the 31. Back into 30 goes with 1 lap to go. It's slide job city here at the Big E. Atkinson throws one. Templeton reads it perfectly. He counters it back. Watch out for Musso. 3 wide. You know who's going to be in the top 2. Who finishes 3rd? Oh my goodness, Joe Musso just pulled off the heist of the century.
Templeton goes from 3rd to 5th.
You hate to see that for sure. All right, it's Osh Weekend Speedway warm-up watch time. We'll step aside and go to break. Feature 35 laps coming up next to the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Warm-up sync in the books. Patrick Spangler the quickest at a 14-16. Ladies and gentlemen, we're set to go for our Renegades feature on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League. Thanks for choosing to spend your Monday night with us. Let's meet the field of 21, ready to take the green for 35 laps. Let's meet the field in the catalytic recovery starting lineup. On the pole, Randy Shreves in car number 56. Next to him, the Flying Fry, Kevin Fry in the 21. Row number 2, Patrick Spangler in the 39. That's the high side banger. Next to Cody Graham in the 2. Row number 3, the Outlaw, Preston Cranmer in the 07. Next to Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row number 4, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Next to the Goose, Chad Cote in car number 11. Rounding out the top 10 this evening, the 63 of the Moose, Joe Musso. Next to the 95 of Michael Birthday. Row number 6, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. And the Pink Panther, Jesse X in the 121. Row 7, Stephen Goldner in the 30. And the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson in the 42. Row number 8, B-Temps, Brandon Templeton in the 31. Next to the Captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. Rounding out the field, Jeff Kemper in the 181. Steven Speeds in the 55, Bob Digo in the 7, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and Barry Goldner in the 36. Brandon, who's your pick to win tonight? Oh, he is already muted, so Brandon, best of luck if you can hear this. He is actually already deafened, so I'll give you a pick to win. Give me Spangler to take this one tonight at the Big E. Let's know your pick to win here for our second Renegades feature on the year. Steve King Foundation Pace Truck in the pits. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? It's showtime at the Big E. It's the Lucy Olsen started. Spangler goes 3 wide and sends it immediately for the race lead. Who leads the opening lap? Give it to the high side banger. Shreves counters back, throws the slide job on the 39. Oh, Shreves just barely shuts the door. We got a stack up Atkinson and Dittmer. So everybody saves it. Spangler still hangs on as the leaders are wing to wing at the moment. Bad exit for the 56 as we go yellow. Check and see what happened. I would assume this was at the back of the pack. Oh my goodness, they were nearly 5 wide. Axing, oh man, big wreck. Nowhere to go was the 83 of Dittmer. It's right on board with our buddy, the Spider Monkey. And with the Pink Panther. They have contact with Stephen Goldner and Templeton. Also nowhere to go in that factor. So first caution flies just around lap number 3. So it's Spangler and Shreves, row 1, Kevin Fry, Cody Graham, row 2. Rounding out the top 5, it's Kurt Schatzer. We'll watch from the Chapman Racing drone here on this Mission 22 restart. Shreves tried to fire early, stacked the field up, and Spangler immediately clears into turn 1. Way high was Fry there off of turn number 2 as Schatzer blinked for just a moment. As they're 2 by 2 by 2 in the race for the 4th position, Kevin Fry takes it away from Kurt Schatzer. Randy Shreves, though, all over Spangler for the lead. Cody Graham wants to make it a 3-man horse show. Oh, and Shreves nearly taps the walls. You're on board with them. Oh, and bad head into the wall. That may have damaged the wheel. Loses 2 spots because of it. May lose 3. Schatzer tries the slide job on Kevin Fry. Shreves now looks low. Just like the Rebels race. You touch the wall once, you're in danger. Schatzer slides on Randy Shreves. Oh, they nearly touch in a 3. And Shreves has to let off or else he hits Kevin Fry. Meanwhile, new fastest lap of the day belongs to Cody Graham, 14:41. This time, a 14:38 for the Graham Racing number 2. That's the Rebels champ. Trying to battle with the Renegades champ as he uses the slider line. But he can't get it to work. Gary Taylor, yellow flag, turn 3. Second Gambler Motorsports caution of the day. Oh, wait a second. I want to rewind that. Did the captain do a wheelie? Nope, thought he did for a moment. Bounced off the wall. Racing with Bob DeGood. Catches the wall in 2 once again. And then off of Atkinson. And spins. Does a couple of pirouettes. Right on board with Gary. Surprised that covered that car didn't suffer more damage than it should have. Field ready to come back to the green flag. Spangler and Graham, row 1. Fry, Schatzer, row 2. Shreves, Kramer, row 3. Cote, Wilson, row 4. Goldner, Landis round out the top 10. Here we come back to the restart, and again a late restart for the high side banger. Could allow Fry to go for the second spot. 3 wide as Shreves slows up. Graham back to second. Schatzer looks to regain control of the 2 spot. He's got it. If you're behind the leader, you have a huge advantage compared to second. Shreves bounces off the wall, contact with Fry. And everybody hangs on to it for right now. Fry moves up to 4th. Shreves dropping down about every 2 laps on average ever since he scraped the wall while running second. Fry in the wall. He hangs on to it. He started from speed 2. Tyler Wilson, yellow flag. That's off turn 4. Third caution of the day. Ouch, that's a heavy lick. I don't know who he touched there. Was there more contact? No, he lost the wheel. That's an easy quick repair to stop the car, and Dittmer was hanging on for dear life there too. See who we touched. Right, I think that was Cote in the 11. I'm not too sure. Have to look in slow-mo. And that is Cote. Tell right there with the 11. So Wilson stopping to take it to the rear of the field. While we're at it, a look at what is coming up here the rest of the week. Tomorrow night on Asphalt Tuesday, we've got the trucks racing at Bristol, baby. Once that is part of Asphalt Tuesday. Wednesday night, the Hometown Heroes by Flatline Racing Bodies at Kern County as always. Then the Xfinity Series at Bristol. Thursday night, on an edition of Thursday Night Thunder brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, we have small and big blocks at Lernerville, followed by the next gens at Bristol. Sunday night on Extreme E-Speed TV, the Sunday Night Showdown. That's actually an OSRN, Extreme E-Speed TV sponsors it. Midgets at Fairbury, Pro Lane Models at Lernerville. Next week for Monday Night Madness, actually won't be here to broadcast it. A rare game for me on a Monday night. We've got sprint cars at Limaland. 14 laps go up on the board. When we come back to the green, there will be 21 laps to go. Spangler holds. Here comes Schrays up on the high side. Back of the podium as he gets past Fry and Graham. Does he go for second on Schatzer? He tries to, but the 218 shuts the door on him. A lot of guys fading back. It's because we got a big wreck. Cote, Templeton's lost the top wing. Joe Musso, and we may have some extracurricular possibly. Well, let's see how this one started. Ooh, big stack up on the outside. Also collected Blake Chapman. Man, were those three drivers lucky. They did not hit the sand barrels. Right on board with the Moose. Watch there, Melendez, Cote, and Chapman. And that's how close they got. It'll be closer when you see Templeton, who went airborne and somehow lost the top wing. I don't know how. Now that was Cote. Man, that was very close to being dangerous. So under yellow, but would assume this will be a single file restart. And for the rest of this one. We are going to go double this time. Spangler, Schatzer, Shreves, Graham, Fry, the top five. Here we go, another mission 22 restart. Shreves again low for second on Schatzer, can't get it to work. Graham may have a chance to get the bottom step of the podium for the 56. They nearly bang wheels in turn 3. Oh! Big wreck, got Preston Cranmer, Kevin Fry, Terry Landis. That was not pretty. Let's watch what happened here. Prester with a, oh man, that's a bad slider for Cranmer to go for, unfortunately. Right on board with Shreves. We cut away from the onboard while he was wrecking. Because we did not expect that. Kevin Fry nowhere to go. But you just hate to see that for Randy Shreves. Normally a guy you don't see running off and in the top 3. And just a tough break. We haven't mentioned yet your biggest mover of the race, but from 18th to 9th is currently the 55 of Steven Spies. Up 8 spots into 5th, though. That's the number 30 of Steven Goldner. With all these yellows, they have kind of helped him out here. Try this once again, another double file restart. Spengler brings us back to the green. Oh, Goldner and Cranmer touch wheels. That's the race for 4th. Landis really sideways off of 2 as he hangs on to it. That's tight there in the corner. Spies, meanwhile, hanging on to it for dear life. He's back in the 13th spot. 3 wide in front of him. Joe Musso off the pace for just a bit. And Goldner take 4th away. The Outlaw, they're still side by side in the corner. And he can. Birthday tries the slide job. He's been very quiet in this race as he just banged off the wall. And loses a lot of momentum. I think that's 4 spots he lost. Atkinson tried the bottom. He lost a lot of pace. Blake Chapman in the 8th spot. Making 7th past Birthday. Very quiet night for the salesman for sure. Meanwhile, Schatzer 4/10ths back on Patrick Spengler. That would be a tough break for him to finish 2nd twice in a night. Goldner on Cody Graham for 3rd. Nothing. Blake and Tyler, 6th. Blake's been making moves in the going as he possibly saved his tires at the right time as we're coming to 10 to go. Just have to see what happens as the field all pretty much single file out here. Cranmer up to 3rd past Cody Graham. So Cody now starts to fade. Lost 2 spots and a half a lap. Maybe 4 spots in a full lap. Cody's faded. I'm not sure what's going on with the 2 car. He's off the pace. Maybe saving fuel here possibly. Especially with all the yellows that we've had, he may not have enough fuel to go the distance. It's the race for the podium spots on between Goldner and Cranmer, who have been, oh! Preston caught the wall. Steven bumps off of him. That was so close. Too close for comfort, to say the least. Somehow everybody keeps it straight. Steven's 3rd, Blake 4th, with 6 to go. Meanwhile, for Spengler, a half-second advantage on Kurt Schatzer. The field faces 4 to go next time by. As we go to caution flags, Spies and Kemper. And this could make things interesting here. Watch what happened to Spies. Oh, Fry and Atkinson touch. Atkinson goes around. Head-on collision for Spies. Kemper, somebody lost a tire. Not too sure who that came off of. Don't know the answer here. Right on board. 55. Tire may have come off a Kemper. Nope, that was the right rear. Off of Steven Spees, and you know what they like to say. You picked a fine time to leave me loose, wheel. Please don't copyright us. Because it's not that too big of a deal. Hello, Spider Monkey.
Hello, Marty.
What's going on?
You know, just pacing.
That's what it seems like that's been tonight. A lot of cautions in this race.
Unfortunately. There should have been a caution on that first lap, but nope.
All right, so we're coming to green here with 4 to go. What does Schatzer need to do here?
Who's in the lead now? Patrick?
Yes.
Just for Patrick to mess up. Patrick's been doing a really good job up there, I feel like. Big slider is what he's going to need, but I don't think he's going to get the momentum.
Well, here we go, back to the green flag. Schatzer tries middle groove. Three laps to go for the high side banger. Again, we mentioned 4th in points coming on in at a top 5 finish last week in one of his home races. Wanted that win very badly. 2 laps to go. Him, Schatzer, Goldner, Chapman, and Wilson. Currently your top 5. Stevens has the hard charger award from 13th to 3rd. They face the white flag this time by 1 to go for Patrick Spangler. Believe he won this race last season at the Big E, and he's half a mile away from defending the crown. Schatzer wants one final chance at it through 3 and 4. Coming to the checkers, Spangler wins. Schatzer 2nd, Goldner 3rd, Chapman 4th, and Wilson 5th. Trouble behind them, Kevin Fry and Michael Berthay crashed at the end.
What in the world happened between them?
Well, let's take a look as the fireworks come out. The pyrotechnics come off here in Victory Lane. Let's take a look and show you. A race for a position. I think this was in the back of the field.
Michael went low to block, but Kevin sent it in there anyways.
Yep. And I have a feeling somebody is not happy at another, and there may be a protest coming from that. We'll just see what happens. But results here from tonight: Spangler the winner, Schatzer 2nd, Goldner from 13th to 3rd, your hard charger. Excuse me, that was a weird snort. Blake Chapman 4th, Tyler Wilson 5th, Preston Kramer 6th, Joe Musso 7th, Chad Cote 8th, Cody Graham 9th, Terry Landis rounded out the top 10. Look at 11 through 20 here. Fry ran up near the front earlier tonight. And the heartbreak once again goes to the driver that finishes in last, Randy Shreves, who had a great race car this evening. Let's go to our hard charger. That's Stephen Goldner, our 3rd place finisher. Stephen, I hate to cut you off there, but let's talk about this race. How were you able to make so many moves there? Obviously, it was, once again, high side dominant like you expected. But walk us through that one, making your way up to 3rd.
Yeah, we had a good car. Not probably to keep up with Patrick, or Kurt was quick too. We had wheel damage pretty early too. Probably a little too aggressive early. Same as the Rebels. I'll have to work on that for next week for sure. But yeah, car was good. Again, racing the Rebels really helps. I think it's I'm kind of happy. I told Roger I'd like to move down just to get some more laps in. So yeah, hopefully we can keep talking the rest of the season.
Close call there. We just showed it on the replay with Preston Cranmer. I think he bounced off the wall there and he made some slight contact with him. I thought for a moment you guys were going around.
Oh, is that on the front stretch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what happened. I wasn't really. I was kind of focused beyond him. Setting up him a little bit in 1 and 2, so I was kind of focused on hitting my line in 1, and he kind of checked up in front. So it's a tough deal. I kind of got into him a little bit earlier, so hopefully it's not too mad at me.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
All the guys at Vanderbilt, Ross Cornett, Velocity Race Designs, Fits Perfect Photography, Moon and Racing Engines, Dylan Westbrook Racing for the series sponsor. I think he still sponsors this league. You guys for the broadcast, for everyone with Coast to Coast Racing Leagues.
And that he does. We'll let you go. Great job tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
Steven Goldner finishing third. Our second place finisher, Kurt Schatzer. Kurt, on the bright side, you beat Steven Goldner. However, though, 2 second place finishes. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow, but that was a tough fight against Patrick.
Not really. I mean, Pat, I don't think I really had anything for Patrick. He's super smooth in the sprint cars, and I was just doing everything I could to just make my way to second, first of all, and then just kind of hold right there with him. I mean, Templeton on the radio has told me I had a pretty good lead there until, pretty good distance between third and myself there. Until that last yellow came out, I didn't want to see that, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm happy with it. A Renegades race, not bad for a Rebels driver. How about it, Marty?
Not bad for a Rebels driver indeed, man. Well done. Any other positives you take away from this?
Just running for points in the Rebels, and any chance I get to advance up here, I was kind of keeping an eye on the points here, and I'm kind of up towards the front here, so we'll see how far I can ride this one out too with the Renegades.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Yeah, I got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank and everything they do to help racing series and different race drivers all around the country. Got Your Six Racing Network, the boys on Hammer Down Racing, Brandon Templeton, Brian Dickens, and Joe Halter. I got to give a big shout out to M9 setup shops. I really couldn't be out here running as well as I could without them guys. And Roger giving us a place to race the coast to coast. Everybody watching, you coming out and doing an awesome job in the broadcast for us.
Thanks so much, man. We'll let you go. Great job tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Kurt Schatzer finishes second. Time to go to Victory Lane and talk with your winner, Patrick Spangler. Man, you got it done there from lap 1 onward, and nobody really had anything for you out there tonight.
Yeah, well, the old late model driver there, Kurt Schatzer, I look down and I see him in my rearview mirror. Then I look at the relative, and like we had 4 seconds on the guy behind us because I wanted to save some tire, but I couldn't with him right on me. But yeah, it's just such a track position dominant track. There's always one lane around the top, especially with the new build here. So I just wanted to get the first as quick as I could and just send it on the high side.
What were your thoughts on this race as a whole? You know, having a bunch of restarts, bunch of double file restarts too throughout the night, and just hoping you could find some time to pull away from the field, but you know, not being able to.
Yeah, I hate when it gets to that because I'm sitting there for the first 30 laps or 20 laps, just sailing on the high side as hard as I can go to try and build that, and then a caution comes out, and then you burn the tires up whenever you take off on the next restart, and then you go a lap at another caution. So it gets frustrating there, and then it gives that time for Blake to come up through the field with his fresh tires because he's sitting there back there. So I was hoping I saw him and Goldner line up like third and fourth, and I was like, man, I have no tires left, and they have tires. I'm going to be shot here. But able to hold on, and great run for Schatzer, too. I just can't believe he was flying tonight.
Next week, Lima Land, what's your outlook look like there?
That's wherever the pill draw lady gives me the pill. That's going to probably determine how my night goes. I haven't ran there recently. Maybe the bottom will be there, but probably be another around the top, and it's going to be very tough to pass probably. So need a good pill and have a good strong heat race.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
You for the awesome broadcast each week. Roger for everything he does for the league. Train Wheels Racing. It wasn't the best night for us tonight. Tyler got caught up in a wreck there instead of birthday, but and Dittmer as well. So hopefully we can bounce back and have a strong week next week and carry the momentum into Lima Land.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Congratulations. Good to see you back in Victory Lane.
Thanks. Talk to you in 2 weeks.
Yep, sounds good. Patrick Spangler, your winner here tonight at Eldora Speedway. I'll put my camera back on here. And Brandon, once we get set to sign things off on here for tonight, final thoughts.
Oh, it's Eldora. It's you get what you get. It's a fun night of racing, though. A lot of great battles. But like I said, next week's Lima Land, so we'll see what that brings. Unfortunately, you're not going to be here, so we won't get to see all the funny commentating from you. But
yeah, I'll miss you guys next week. But I'll be back with you guys in 2 weeks for sure. So that will do it for us here tonight. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, as well as our good friends at Extreme eSpeed TV, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig, Preston Cranmer, and their talented group of admins, I'm Ari Sakala on behalf of Brandon Dittmer. Sign off tonight. Congratulations to your winners, Stephen Goldner and Patrick Spangler. So long.